So me and my partner decided to go to Ramsgate, and it would be a first because we'd be taking our cat with us, who has never been out of this house apart from going to the vets and things like that. So that was a big first. One of the first things I noticed before we left was that my partner had these great big massive lumps of tension in his shoulders, which, you know, is stress and all the responsibility he has to deal with. And, you know, you could actually feel this sort of whole essence of you know, tension and stress that had been building up. So it was really good to get away. So we got Annabelle, and it was kind of like rushed because I was building my new exercise bike at the time, and then Les was like, right, now let's go. And we were really late, actually. We were really late getting off because we were supposed to be there at 4:30 to check in, but it was actually like 4:30 when we left. So Annabelle, you know, I think Annabelle was hiding already before, you know, we'd even picked her up and took her down the stairs. And I'd recently purchased this new pair of shoes, and they were really lovely, beautiful shoes, and they were quite expensive, not too bad. And I picked Annabelle up and we headed out the door, and she peed all over me. And Les, you know, I was just walking down with her, and then Les was like, oh look, and you could see like this big stream of pee, really dark yellowy wee, going down my top and onto my shoes. And we never actually changed, and so I never actually got to get out of those clothes until we got into the mobile home itself. So we drive into this holiday park around about 6 o'clock or a little later than that, and we drive around for ages trying to find this particular mobile home that's going to be our home for the next couple of days. And it was really difficult to find because we were supposed to be in like the central section, and there were all these different names, Central and Logger, what's it, or something like that. And, you know, we couldn't find it, and it's literally a maze of little, you know, homes. So you've got like one road, and that's got mobile homes on all the side of it, and then you've got like another road that goes off, and another road that goes down, and another road, like a maze of mobile homes. So it was really difficult to find, and throughout the whole time we were there, it was very difficult to find the entrance and the exit because you know, it's just such a confusion. My favourite part of going to Ramsgate, for me personally, there was two things. One is getting out of Brighton, because I very rarely get out of Brighton. Brighton is all I know really, because I don't really go to any other towns because, you know, it's expensive and I don't drive myself. So it's very lovely to get away and go somewhere new, and, you know, where there are new things and things you've not experienced before. And the other thing, the greatest thing, I think, was just spending time with Les, because, you know, often it's not just me and Les, it's my family and people around, which is fine. But, you know, to just be me and Les on an adventure with Annabelle, and it's just me and him driving along in the car, and we're just together, and it's nice hanging out with Les. It really is, and it's just the two of us, and that was the best and most special part of the trip for me. By the time we got to the, you know, mobile home for the first time, I was absolutely starving. I were. And you know, I really couldn't really do much at all. It was really hard to get dressed and change my clothes because I was just getting one of my shiver attacks, which completely paralyses me. Yeah, so that was really tricky. And then we got to this thing, and we just gorged on food. But the thing that was amazing was the service in that Wetherspoons in Ramsgate. Absolutely magnificent. It's like you order a drink, and then like literally under a minute later, your drink is there, and it's bam. And like, you know, you order your food, and in a reasonable amount of time, you know, like the time it would take to put this food in, it's there. It doesn't take hardly any time. The service is so excellent. One of the interesting things about Ramsgate is that it's not just Ramsgate, it's Ramsgate and a whole lot of other little towns. So you've got Ramsgate, you've got Canterbury, you've got Margate, you've got Sandwich, and you've got all these other things. So it's really easy to just like pick somewhere and say, right, we'll have dinner there tonight. So we went to two main attractions. We went to Canterbury Cathedral, which I didn't really like Canterbury Cathedral, probably because it was £14 to get in, and I paid for both of us. So that's probably why I didn't like it. Because I think, why pay such a high fee to go to a cathedral? Because I think the only reason that the price was so high was because they'd lost so much money during COVID. So I don't think that's really fair to shove that cost onto us. So I didn't like that, really. One of the wonderful things about going to attractions during a time where you have to wear masks is it's a case of a lot of the time of, when there's nobody about, yank your mask off, take a picture, put it back on. That was really difficult in the castle which we went, and that was the second place we went to, was Dover Castle. I think Dover Castle was a good relief because I've been eating freely for the whole time we've been there. I mean, when I'm here, I do a certain something, and that tries to somehow keep me thin. When I was in Ramsgate, it was just eating, and I think I did that because one, to make the trip more enjoyable, but also because I had this exercise bike and I was hoping that I could just burn it all off when I get back. I think Dover Castle though was a relief because by the time we got to the Sunday, I was looking very chubby. I mean, you see pictures of me, and a lot of the pictures are cropped because I don't want to have this great big wide belly. A lot of people look at me, and they say, "Oh, you're not really that fat," but I am really that fat because my sides are huge. And people just don't see it, but I find myself disgusting if I see myself, with this flabby, disgusting body. It's not very nice. So yeah, so I'll get on that exercise bike sometime today. Dover Castle was really lovely because it was just really picturesque and it was very beautiful. Very cold though, it was an extremely cold day, and the only thing I had was this shirt, and you'll see in the pictures. But yeah, I mean, and Dover Castle was good for exercise because it's huge. And you look at it and you think, oh my god, how on earth are we going to get around all this in the space of like 4 hours? But it's a bit deceiving because the building in the front isn't actually anything. It doesn't actually, it's not open to the public. So it's really just the part of the back. And so yeah, we went around, and one of the most irritating things was that we got into one of these rooms, and Les wanted to go to the toilet, and there aren't many toilets. There's only one toilet, and because of all these COVID rules, you can only go in one door and go out the other door. So we had to skip like 4 rooms, and Les had to go to the toilet, which was very irritating. And we couldn't go back to the rooms because they were up these really small staircases, which if we went up, we'd probably bump into some other people. So that was really annoying, and I found that extremely irritating. After we finished Dover Castle, we were really hungry, and we went to apparently there aren't many places in Dover to eat for some reason, so we ended up in Burger King, and I was extremely disappointed not to receive a crown because I wanted one of the crowns to wear because that would have been really fun. But no, apparently I think they've stopped doing those now. And I had this thing that I'd not had before, which was this ice Fanta, which I thought tasted horrible. Annabelle was a lot worse coming back than she was going, because if you think of it in the mind of a cat, she doesn't really know what's going on. We could be taking her to like one of these catteries where they look after a cat and they just have like one small room, and it's not much fun. Or she could be being taken away and we could be giving her up, which would be absolutely ghastly. But she doesn't know that. Because I think the people who had her in the first place didn't treat her that well. So I think she's a bit sceptical of people. And that's why I don't think she likes people very much. Because I believe that she was ill-treated with her previous owners when she was a little kitten. Which is really horrible to think of. Yeah, so she doesn't really know what's going on. So we take her off for an hour and a half in a car. And then she sees this new place. She might think that this is we've moved to this place. She doesn't know. She just doesn't know. And then after a couple of days, we take her again in a car for an hour and a half, and she's just confused. She doesn't know what's going on at all. So she hid under the car seat, which was really hard to get her out. It took us probably like 30 minutes to try and get her out. And I think in the end we just left her there because there was no way she could be in any danger. So she was pretty safe there. So we left her there. And we hoped she'd come out, and that would be alright. But it is kind of sad to be back here, because the adventure's over, and me and Les have to go and do our separate jobs, and you know, Les will just go back and they'll work him and they'll stress him out and they'll give him lots to do, too much to deal with, and that tension will just build up again, and it's not nice. Throughout the whole time we were there, I didn't have any stresses, because there are a lot of stresses in my life at the moment. This whole what am I going to do without eBay business, you know, because eBay is brilliant, but one cannot accept their terms anymore. But so I have to think of something new, a new way of selling DVDs and my drawings, which is extremely stressful because I don't have a clue, and it's all turned to total sewage, and I don't have a clue how it's going to go on, but I have to find a way. And so I didn't think about that at all. I mean, it does make you think that, you know, you just want to become a millionaire and just be able to have all these things. I know a lot of people have that dream, you know, to become a millionaire. But I think it's stronger in me. But it was strong in me before I met Les, but it's even stronger now because we're both people who want to become millionaires and want to have it all. And I think if other people can win the lottery, why can't you? It's possible, you know. You just have to have that faith that you will win the lottery. I think it's very difficult to win. I think it's harder now to win the lottery than it was in the past, but it is possible. I mean, if you have those codes, a millionaire maker, all you need is one lucky number and, you know, one lucky code, and boom, you're a millionaire. So there's my little Ramsgate blog. There'll be love and laughter and peace ever after tomorrow, when the world is free.